How would you characterize how old school tech has performed this week and amid these swings?
It hasn't surprised me that we're starting to see a little bit more of a bottoming and some support out there. As I've been on the road meeting with investors, people are definitely sharpening their pencil on names. I'd say that Facebook is one of the names that's coming up a lot among investors, trying to get a sense for what to do down here. A real view that I'm feeling is that on Facebook and a lot of the FAANG stocks, there's a view that valuations have hit a bit of a floor here. If you look at an internet group as a whole, multiples are now near their 5-year average, and there's a real view out there that for Facebook, Amazon, earnings expectations have been reset. We've seen a big growth in expenses this year, a big decel in revenue growth for some of these companies, especially Facebook, and those have now been largely baked into estimates and to the multiples. This is the growing view among the investors.
Does it extend to Apple?
I don't cover Apple. It's not a name that I know as much about, but when it comes to Google, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, we are starting to sense that investors think they've reached some sort of floor here. So,
Aaron, what do you think? You think we've reached a floor here in terms of valuations for the FAANG stocks you cover?
Yeah, we think large caps are pretty attractive in our internet space as well. We think large caps are probably undervalued at this point. Small caps are probably in the fair value range that they've been over the last couple of years. They were overextended for a while. But yeah, I mean, if you look at Facebook trading at 15 times earnings on calendar 19, growing kind of, we think, still mid-20s next year. Google growing, trading sub 20 times earnings. Alibaba is our top pick in the space, trading, we think, in the kind of 12 times on a sum of the parts basis on calendar 19 for a company growing 30%. So we think a lot of the valuations, especially in the large caps, have gotten too attractive at this point. Even if we start to see a little bit of slowing in fundamentals, we think that's more than priced in at current levels here.
Mark, what are the new groupings or themes that you would look at with these stocks? Because I feel like when FAANG started, the attention was more to Amazon's top line growth, but the narrative for growth seems to have shifted more toward the cloud than it was. And then, of course, you got Microsoft, which is not part of that group, which is now, today anyway, the largest market cap tech company.
Right.
So what are the themes that investors should think about as they try to evaluate at each stage in this journey as we head into 2019, how these companies are likely to perform and be perceived?
Cloud is going to continue to be a major theme in this space. AWS being a distant number one, in that group. But as you know, Google recently hired a new leader of their cloud business. I think is going to double down on the opportunity there and probably better position them to go after the enterprise segment of the market, which is where all the growth is happening. So cloud is going to continue to be a major theme.
When you say that about Thomas Kurian coming in at Google, how important is it going to be for Google to break out more data on cloud and just be a lot more specific about how much fuel it's willing to give that business, including doing more M&A?
It certainly helped them a lot, Amazon a lot, when they broke out AWS. It's been a really important part of the upside we've seen in Amazon stock for the last 2 years since they started segmenting out. Probably a little early for Google to do that. Cloud is not a big enough contributor to their overall business, but as they start to gain more traction, especially among the enterprises, that'll be big. The other thing that people aren't talking a lot about, AR and VR specifically. Next year, Facebook has a new product in the spring coming out called Quest. This, if you talk to people in the VR industry, this has a lot of it's a price point that's affordable, $400 or $500, not tethered to a PC, and allows spatial recognition of a room, walking around a room at an affordable price point, not tethered to a PC. I think you're going to start to see 2019 to be the year of VR starting to take off.
Baby steps, I guess, on that front.